Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you've ever felt a woman slowly drift away even though you were doing everything right, if you've ever wondered why chemistry fades no matter how strong it started, then what I'm about to tell you may change how you see love forever. Before we begin, subscribe and like this video. Not for me, but because the kind of man who understands what you're about to hear is the kind of man women don't forget. Now listen carefully. A mature woman doesn't fall in love because of flowers. She doesn't fall because of money. She doesn't fall because you say the perfect lines. She falls because of how she feels in her nervous system when she's around you. I'm speaking to you as a psychologist. Mature women, the ones who have lived, loved, been hurt, rebuilt themselves, they don't respond to intensity. They respond to emotional safety and embodied presence. And here's what most men miss. Touch is not about skin. Touch is about regulation. There are 7 specific types of physical contact that signal to a mature woman. This man understands depth. Not sexual manipulation, not seduction tricks, but grounded, masculine attunement. When done right, these touches don't rush her. They calm her. They anchor her. And when a woman feels anchored, she opens. But here's the truth you were never told. Immature touch seeks validation. Mature touch gives reassurance. Most men touch to take. The rare man touches to connect. A mature woman can feel the difference instantly. Her body knows before her mind does. If your touch says, "I need you to approve of me," she withdraws. If your touch says, "I am steady, you are safe here," she softens. And when she softens, that is when love begins to grow. These 7 touches are not aggressive. They are not flashy. They are subtle, intentional, grounded. Because the woman you truly want, she's not impressed by performance. She's moved by presence. And presence is communicated through your nervous system and through your hands. What I'm about to share isn't about tactics. It's about maturity. If you master this, you won't chase love. You'll become the man love feels safe running toward. Now breathe with me. Let's begin. The first touch that quietly unlocks a mature woman's heart is the calm, grounding touch on her upper back. Most men underestimate this moment because it looks simple, but psychologically, it communicates something powerful: protection without pressure. Picture this. You're walking into a restaurant together. There's noise around you, people moving, conversations everywhere. Instead of grabbing her hand abruptly or pulling her forward, you place your hand gently on the center of her upper back for just a moment as you guide her through the doorway. Not pushing, not gripping, just steady presence. To a mature woman, this signals leadership without control. Her nervous system reads that touch as, "This man is aware of me. He's attentive. He's calm in crowded environments." A woman who has dated long enough knows the difference between a man who is trying to impress and a man who is naturally grounded. The grounded man doesn't fidget. He doesn't overcompensate. His movements are slow, intentional, relaxed. And that's exactly what this touch communicates. But here's where most men get it wrong. They either avoid touch completely because they're afraid of doing something wrong, or they overdo it and become invasive. Mature women notice both extremes instantly. What makes this specific touch powerful is that it lasts only a second or two. Then it's gone. There's no need to hold it. No need to repeat it constantly. The message has already been delivered. Confidence doesn't linger for validation. Confidence moves naturally and then lets the moment breathe. When a mature woman feels that brief, steady contact on her upper back, something subtle shifts in her perception of you. She begins to feel guided rather than managed. And this matters more than most men realize, because mature women have experienced relationships where they had to carry the emotional weight themselves. They had to plan everything, manage everything, think for 2 people. So when a man simply shows calm awareness through a small physical gesture, it feels surprisingly rare. Not dramatic, just reassuring. And reassurance is incredibly attractive to a woman who has already experienced chaos in love. That's why this touch works. It tells her something powerful without saying a word. You don't have to carry the moment alone. I'm here, present, and steady. And once she feels that steadiness, she begins watching you more closely. Not with suspicion, with curiosity. The second touch that quietly reaches a mature woman's heart is the slow, reassuring touch of her hand during a moment of shared stillness, not during chaos, not during excitement, stillness. Most men grab a woman's hand the way a teenager does, quickly, nervously, almost asking for permission with their fingers. But a mature woman feels the difference between nervous grabbing and calm connection immediately. The touch I'm talking about happens naturally. You're sitting next to her. Maybe you're talking about something meaningful. Maybe you're simply enjoying the quiet between sentences. There's no rush, no performance. Your energy is relaxed. Then slowly, calmly, you take her hand. Not tightly, not possessively, just gently holding it. This moment matters because of something many men don't understand about mature women. They pay attention to emotional pacing. A younger dynamic often revolves around excitement and constant stimulation. But mature attraction grows in quieter spaces, in pauses, in subtle signals. When you hold her hand during a calm moment instead of a dramatic one, you communicate something rare: emotional patience. Your body language tells her you're not trying to rush intimacy. You're comfortable with connection unfolding slowly. And that matters deeply to a woman who has experienced relationships where everything moved too fast and burned out just as quickly. But there's another layer here. When you hold her hand, your fingers should rest naturally around hers, not squeeze. A gentle thumb movement across the side of her hand can communicate warmth without overwhelming her. It's not about technique, it's about intention. If your intention is to feel close rather than to prove something, your body will naturally express that calmness. And mature women feel intention through touch faster than through words. Words can be rehearsed. Touch cannot. A steady, relaxed hand tells her that you are comfortable in your own presence, that you don't need to impress her every second. That kind of emotional steadiness is incredibly attractive because it creates psychological safety. Safety is what allows attraction to deepen, not fireworks, not dramatic gestures, just the quiet realization that being near you feels calm instead of complicated. When a woman feels that calmness in your touch, she begins to associate your presence with emotional peace. And peace, to a mature woman who has seen enough storms, is one of the most powerful feelings a man can create. The third touch that deeply affects a mature woman is something incredibly small, yet emotionally powerful: the gentle touch of her forearm when you're making a meaningful point. Most men rely only on words when they want to express sincerity. They talk longer, explain more, try harder to be understood. But mature women don't measure sincerity by how many words you use. They feel sincerity through alignment, when your voice, your eyes, and your physical presence all communicate the same message. Imagine you're in conversation with her. You're telling a story, sharing a perspective, or responding to something important she just said. As you speak, you briefly touch her forearm, not suddenly, not dramatically, just a light, calm contact for a second or two. Then your hand naturally returns to where it was. That brief moment does something powerful psychologically. It reinforces emotional connection. It tells her your attention is fully present with her in that moment. But the key is authenticity. If your touch appears random or forced, a mature woman will feel it instantly. Remember, women who have lived and experienced relationships become incredibly perceptive. They read emotional congruence faster than most men realize. Your tone, your posture, and your touch must all match. If you speak slowly and thoughtfully while making that brief forearm contact, your presence feels grounded. It signals emotional clarity. But if you rush your words or appear anxious, the touch will feel distracting instead of meaningful. This is why self-awareness matters more than technique. When your emotional state is calm, your gestures naturally carry warmth instead of pressure. And mature women respond strongly to warmth. Why? Because many of them have spent years around men who communicate through dominance, sarcasm, or emotional distance. So when a man shows gentle confidence, the kind that doesn't need to overpower the moment, it feels refreshing. This type of touch doesn't try to control the conversation. It simply punctuates a moment of connection. And connection is what slowly builds emotional attraction, not intensity, Not clever lines, just two people feeling heard and understood. That small forearm touch, when done with genuine presence, subtly tells her, "I'm here with you. I'm listening. What you're saying matters." And when a mature woman feels that level of attention, something changes inside her. She begins to relax, not because you demanded her attention, but because your presence quietly earned it. The fourth touch that can quietly deepen a mature woman's feelings is the reassuring touch on her shoulder when she shares something vulnerable. This moment is delicate, and most men miss it completely. When a woman opens up about something personal, maybe a difficult experience, a stressful situation, or something that has been weighing on her mind, the natural instinct for many men is to immediately fix the problem. They start offering solutions, advice, strategies. But a mature woman is not always looking for solutions. Often she's simply revealing a piece of her emotional world. And what she notices most in that moment is how you respond with your presence. This is where a gentle, steady touch on her shoulder becomes powerful. Not long, not dramatic, just your hand resting there for a moment while she speaks. That touch communicates something deeper than words. You're not alone in this moment. It signals empathy without interrupting her story. And empathy is incredibly important to women who have already experienced relationships where their emotions were dismissed or minimized. A mature woman has likely encountered men who became uncomfortable when conversations turned serious, men who changed the subject, men who joked their way out of emotional depth. So when you remain calm, attentive, and present, and your touch reinforces that steadiness, she feels something rare. She feels emotional acceptance. But there's a critical detail here. Your hand must remain relaxed. No squeezing, no rubbing, no exaggerated gestures. Just quiet support. This subtle restraint matters because it shows emotional maturity. You're not trying to take control of her emotions. You're simply acknowledging them. And when a woman senses that you can sit comfortably with emotional depth, her trust begins to grow. Trust is the foundation of attraction for mature women. Without it, chemistry fades quickly. With it, even small gestures feel meaningful. That shoulder touch during a vulnerable conversation tells her something profound. You can show your real self here. And once a woman feels safe revealing her real self, the connection between you starts moving beyond surface-level attraction. It becomes something deeper, not because you impressed her, but because you understood something many men overlook, that emotional safety is one of the most attractive qualities a man can offer, and sometimes all it takes to communicate that safety is a calm hand on her shoulder at the right moment. The fifth touch that quietly pulls a mature woman closer is the soft, lingering hug when you greet her or say goodbye. Now, this may sound ordinary. After all, people hug all the time. But what most men don't realize is that the quality of a hug communicates far more than the hug itself. A rushed hug feels polite. A performative hug feels awkward. But a calm, grounded hug, one that lasts just a moment longer than expected, creates emotional resonance. When you greet her, instead of the quick 1-second pat on the back that many men default to, you allow the hug to breathe for 2 or 3 seconds. Your arms are relaxed, your posture steady, and there's no nervous movement. You're simply present in the moment. That small extension of time tells her something subtle but meaningful. You're comfortable with closeness. Many men unknowingly rush physical affection because they're afraid of appearing too eager or too emotional. Their body language becomes hesitant, and that hesitation communicates uncertainty. But a mature woman isn't looking for hesitation. She's looking for authenticity. When your hug feels natural and unforced, her body registers it as emotional warmth. It becomes a small moment of connection that lingers after the embrace ends. And here's the psychological reason this works. A genuine hug activates feelings of calm and trust in the human nervous system. It slows the moment down. It reminds both people that the interaction is not just about conversation or activity, it's about shared presence. Mature women notice this deeply. They've experienced relationships where affection was inconsistent or mechanical. So when a man expresses warmth in a simple, steady way, it stands out. But remember something important. The power of this hug is not intensity, it's sincerity. There's no need to hold too tightly or exaggerate the gesture. In fact, the most attractive version of this moment feels effortless. Your breathing is calm, your body relaxed, and when you step back, you maintain eye contact for just a brief second. That pause reinforces the connection. It communicates that the hug wasn't just a social routine, it was a moment of genuine appreciation for her presence. These tiny moments build emotional memory, and emotional memory is what slowly transforms attraction into something deeper. Because when a mature woman begins to associate your presence with warmth and calm connection, she doesn't just enjoy spending time with you, she starts missing you when you're gone. The sixth touch that can quietly deepen a mature woman's feelings is the gentle brushing of her hair away from her face. This moment is incredibly simple, yet emotionally powerful when it happens naturally. Picture this. You're sitting together, maybe in conversation, maybe sharing a quiet moment. A small strand of her hair falls across her face, and without making a big gesture out of it, you gently move it aside. Your fingers are slow, careful, respectful. Then your hand moves away. No lingering, no drama. Just a quiet moment of attention. Why does something so small matter so much? Because it signals attentiveness. A mature woman notices when a man pays attention to details without being asked. She notices when he is present enough to observe the little things, the things most people overlook when they're busy thinking about what to say next. When you brush her hair aside calmly, it communicates something deeper than the act itself. It says, "I see you, I see." And being truly seen is something many people rarely experience in relationships. Most interactions are filled with distraction, phones buzzing, thoughts racing, people waiting for their turn to speak. But when a man shows gentle attentiveness through a small gesture like this, the moment becomes intimate without being overwhelming. There's also another psychological layer. Hair is personal. It frames the face, the most expressive part of a person's identity. When you adjust a strand of hair with care, it signals trust and familiarity. But again, intention matters. If the gesture feels forced or theatrical, it loses its meaning immediately. Mature women are incredibly perceptive when it comes to authenticity. They can sense when someone is performing instead of simply responding to the moment. That's why the best version of this touch happens almost instinctively. You notice the strand of hair, you move it aside gently, and then the conversation continues naturally. No commentary needed. Yet inside that brief moment, something deeper is communicated. Your presence says, "I'm paying attention to you in ways that don't require words." And when a mature woman feels that level of quiet attentiveness, it creates emotional warmth that builds over time. Because love, especially mature love, rarely grows from grand gestures alone. It grows from dozens of small moments where someone feels seen, respected, and cared for in ways that feel natural rather than forced. And sometimes one gentle movement of your hand can say more than an entire conversation. The seventh touch, and perhaps the most powerful one, is the quiet touch of her hand or arm when you're both sharing a moment of laughter. Not forced laughter, not polite smiles, real laughter. A moment when the conversation becomes light, when both of you feel relaxed enough to simply enjoy being around each other. In that moment, many men pull away physically because they don't want to seem too forward. But what often creates the strongest emotional memory is a brief, natural touch during that shared joy. Maybe you lightly tap her arm while laughing together. Maybe your hand briefly rests against hers as the moment unfolds. Then you let the moment pass naturally. Why does this matter? Because emotions create anchors in the brain. And when physical touch happens during a positive emotional spike, like laughter, the mind begins to link those feelings together. Her brain subtly associates you with that warmth and lightness. But again, this isn't about strategy. It's about presence. When a man is relaxed enough to enjoy the moment, instead of constantly trying to manage how he appears, his body language becomes natural. That naturalness is what allows moments like this to happen organically. And mature women deeply appreciate men who can enjoy the moment without overthinking every move. Life has already given them enough seriousness, enough pressure, enough responsibilities. So when a man brings both emotional steadiness and moments of lighthearted connection, It creates balance. That balance is incredibly attractive because mature love isn't just about passion or stability alone, it's about the rhythm between the two. Moments of calm connection, moments of laughter, moments of quiet presence. And within those moments, small touches become meaningful because they reflect genuine emotion. By now, you may notice something important. None of these touches are aggressive. None of them are dramatic. They're simple, human, respectful. That's because mature women aren't looking for a performance. They're looking for authenticity, a man who understands emotional timing, a man who respects boundaries, a man whose presence feels calm instead of chaotic. When your touch communicates those qualities, attraction grows naturally, not because you tried to make her fall in love, but because your presence allowed her to feel something she rarely finds, emotional ease. And emotional ease is where deep love quietly begins.